All right, I'm here via Skype with director Ryan Mitchelle, and we've actually never met before.
No, who is this again? I just got a notice on my phone. Who's this calling?
Somehow you direct.
If you're delivering that pizza, you're like 6 days late.
Somehow when you directed Paranoia the Snob Movie and Jesus Bro, you just did it from California.
Your scenes you were never there. We just digitally put you in.
Right, you just communicated via walkie-talkie like Frank Oz had to direct Brando on The Score.
Exactly, yeah.
So you're still out in LA right now, right?
I am, yes, coming to you live from beautiful Santa Clarita, California.
And you've been pretty freaking busy here the last several months, honestly.
Yeah, I've been working on the last Sharknado.
Yeah.
So and the Sharknado 6. So it'll be airing August 19th, I think is when it actually airs. So we've locked picture, and so right now we're doing the post-production stuff. Getting ready for Comic-Con. Actually, San Diego Comic-Con is this week, so we've been putting together a special sneak trailer for Comic-Con, and also a clip. So that's what I've been working on this past week. So it's been pretty busy. It's pretty cool. I think if you're a fan of the Sharknado series, you're gonna love it, because it's we've gone as crazy as possible. Like there's a phrase out there now. I saw somebody use it to describe the new Lost World. They said that the Lost World has gone full Sharknado.
Yes, I have heard that.
So we've gone full Sharknado on Sharknado 6.
I would love to, if there was the one person who loved Sharknado 1 through 5, but then sees 6 and is like, no, too much.
Well, this time we do time travel. You know, it's how where else can you go? I mean, we went to space in 3.
Yeah.
So where else can you go other than time travel? So it's great. I mean, it's a heck of a lot of fun. It's absolutely crazy, and it's for the fans. What's really cool is that the director Anthony Ferrante, said over and over again, this one's for the fans. Like the network and everybody else is like, well, this is going to be the last one, so they're more hands off than they used to be. And what I mean by that is they're not like, they used to be. They were very intense about certain things and product placements, and certain things had to look. This one, they're like, we hate this. It's done. Let's never do this ever again. So it's allowed Anthony to really make it for the fans. So there's some great tributes, and if you've been there for all of the movies, you'll see that this is meant to be closure for everything. So we make callbacks to all the other 5 movies. So.
You guys made it to space way quicker than it took Jason Voorhees. Took Jason Voorhees 10 movies.
Exactly.
Guys did it much faster.
Exactly.
When does this air again?
It airs August 19th, Sunday.
Cool.
August 19th. So it'll be on the Sci-Fi Channel. I think they've got Sharknado week leading up to that. So they're going to show all the other movies. They've got other premiere first time movies they're going to air that week. I know another one's called Six-Headed Shark Attack.
Oh yeah.
It's another Asylum movie. It's their other big shark franchise, because they had 3-headed Shark Attack, then I think 5-headed Shark Attack, and now 6-headed. So.
Well, the August 19th is a day before my dad's birthday, so I know what he and I are going to be doing.
There you go.
Well, I mean, speaking of budgets and everything, we are in the middle of we're actually right in the middle. At the time of recording this, we're in the middle of doing our fundraising on IndieGoGo for the sequel to the Cinema Snob movie, which is called Another Cinema Snob Movie. Links for that, for the IndieGoGo campaign, will be in the description for this video. They're all over my Twitter page, which is at the Cinema Snob, and as of this point you can see like a couple of 12-hour live streams we did. There's a 2-part Cinema Snob episode on the Cinema Snob movie, which that was a lot of fun to do, to be perfectly honest. I really had a good time doing that episode. Part 1 of that is public now. Part 2, if it's not public right now, it is over on our IndieGoGo page, and you could see it on there. So, I mean, if you're listening and you want to contribute, please, by all means, contribute to our IndieGoGo page. Donate to it, share it around, and all that good stuff. And the budget that we have for this movie, which is the same that we had for Jesus Bro, which is $50,000. That's our IndieGoGo asking price. Difference being, Jesus Bro was a flexible campaign. So, like, let's say it brought in 40. Like, okay, we'd make a lot of sacrifices and we'd try to make the movie for $40,000. This one is a fixed campaign, meaning it's an all or nothing one. So either we get 50 or we don't. Go into the details of why that is, in a lot of cases, better to do for this campaign or any campaign in general, better to do than like a flexible campaign.
Well, really, we've kind of reached a point in making these movies, that's kind of the bare minimum of what we can do. Like, Jesus Bro was an 8-day shoot.
Yeah.
But we still ended up having to shoot a lot of extra stuff on our own. But the difference between what we were able to do on Jesus Bro versus now is Jesus Bro we were just shooting in HD.
Yeah.
Whereas Another Cinema Snob Movie we will be shooting in 4K.
Yeah.
And so what's the difference on that? Well, there's a lot of technical stuff and to spare in the technicalities. Suffice it to say that like most cameras up until the past few years were shooting HD. HD was kind of the standard. Most TVs, networks, movies were all coming out HD. That's Blu-ray, 1080 if you want to get more specific. Well, that's changed now.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is 4K. Pretty much every single broadcast network will only accept things that are in 4K. Now, most of the time they're only broadcasting in HD, but they will only accept the format to be 4K.
Uh-huh.
And the reason being is that they expect eventually we're going to moving towards 4K. I mean, 4K media is available to buy like at Best Buy. You can buy things in 4K. There are 4K players, and there's also 4K TVs that are being released. Now, this was kind of similar to what was happening with HD as well.
Yeah.
Because back when there were still DVDs and like Blu-ray and HD TVs were the thing, it was similar. Distributors and networks started only accepting things in HD, even though most households only had standard def.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think about it, it's because for the longest time now you're getting Blu-ray releases of movies that came out during that standard def era because they shot them in HD.
Yeah.
So it's the same idea now. These distributors are only going to want things that are in 4K because eventually everything's going to move up to 4K. So that puts us in a position now. I mean, why am I talking distributor when like we haven't really had a distributor on any other movie we've done before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we always engage distributors, and we engaged distributors back with Paranoia.
Yeah.
Back when we did that movie. And, it was shot of a certain quality. That, I mean, I've seen, well, to be honest, we've seen lesser quality movies be distributed.
So, yeah, we have.
I mean, you've made a career out of that, Brett.
I really have. I've probably seen several this month.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, that's my point, is that, you never know exactly what's the secret sauce that's going to get your movie picked up by a distributor. But the important thing is that, there's a lot of reasons why they won't pick it up. And you never want one of those reasons to be because you didn't shoot it in the right format.
Yeah.
Saying, it's a dumb idea, or it doesn't have any stars in it, or we already have similar properties. Like, they're going to say that sometimes, But there's other ways you can fight that and say, well, this is why it's attractive, this is why it's that. But if it's you guys didn't shoot this in 4K, it's a no-go. They're not even going to negotiate with you.
Yeah.
They're not even going to talk to you because it's not in 4K. So that's why we need to shoot 4K for this movie, and that's a big part of the budget. Those cameras are, and we're not talking about. There's little bitty cameras that you can buy at Best Buy for a couple $100 that will say 4K.
Oh yeah.
And what that means is, again, not to get super technical, is that the lines of resolution, whatever, is going to be that higher line of resolution, higher than 1080, but so they can technically call it 4K, but there's things like compression and like the size of the video file that are not big enough. Like the actual quality of the image is going to be really, really bad. So that's why we rent these specific cameras that we want to use on these movies to shoot in 4K at this higher resolution and higher compression rates.
Yeah.
And that costs money.
Yeah.
And the other piece to this is what Brad, you and I were talking about before we got on this call. I for the longest time I was doing trying to do everything, be a director, be a camera guy, be an editor. As we've gotten more and more complex with these shoots, the cameras are now beyond my level of knowledge.
Right.
Like I can point and shoot, but actually running one of these incredibly complicated cameras like the Red camera or like the Sony F7 that we used on Jesus Bro, they're more complex than I really know how to do. Like I can do it, I can futz my way through it, but I'm not really a director of photography.
Yeah.
Like that's not really what I am. I mean, I'm many things, but I'm not really a director of photography, which is why we hired somebody to shoot Jesus Bro.
Yeah.
And so we brought somebody in. We brought in AJ, and he was really good. And having him focus on being able to get the things to look nice through such a nice camera made a big difference.
Yeah.
So that as we continue down the budget, and we're as these expenses are adding up, so we need equipment. So we need the nicer camera. We need a director of photography who knows how to run it.
Yeah.
Now the next piece to this is that you actually need to light these things appropriately. We actually, you can't have just, in interior lighting, there's color temperature and all these other type of things. Again, stuff that a DP understands and
right.
knows. They know these different color temperatures. Like different type of light bulbs give off different types of colors.
Yeah.
Like a standard, like a fluorescent light gives off green light. Tungsten gives off yellow light. The sun gives off blue light. I mean, if you don't know these different colors and you don't know how to compensate for them, your movie's going to look just terrible. It's going to have all these different colors and different shots, and so that's where lighting comes in. That's where you have your DP. So in addition to renting a camera package, hiring a DP, we also need to rent a lighting package and a grip package. So you need lights, you need grip equipment.
Yeah.
And we're not getting tons and tons of stuff here. We're getting we're renting what's called a 1-ton grip package, which is kind of the basic standard grip package. But it will allow whoever our DP is to have good lighting and good grip equipment so that he can shape and do the type of lighting we need to do. Now, the difference between this movie and Jesus Bro as well is that we're going back to playing with those different exploitation genres.
Yeah.
So whereas Jesus Bro was meant to be kind of fitting in the world of those Christian exploitation movies, of being very high key and bright. This is going to be a lot darker and moodier. And darker and moodier, you might think, oh, well, you need less lights. Well, that's not actually true. I mean, you need the same amount of lights, but you really need to know how to use them. So we're going to need more lights, and we're going to need more planning and preparation. And that DP is going to need more help to actually set up all those lights, which is, again, part of the crew. You need a gaffer, and you need a grip, at least. So those are the guys that are going to help set up the lights and help the camera crew make everything look good. So we're just talking about look here. And that's only 50% of your movie. Your other half of that movie is the sound quality. This is something that you'll notice sometimes in amateur films that they do really terrible. A good example of that is Paranoia in the Cinema Snob Movie.
Sure.
Sounds really hard. Doing it right is really, really hard.
Yeah.
So you want to hire somebody who really knows what they're doing. And these guys are experts. They're fantastic. They're expensive. Location sound recorders who has their own mixing equipment is going to be expensive too. We found somebody last time who was awesome and did us a really, really, really good job. So that's that as we're just going down the list of equipment and costs and so forth here. That's our next piece right there is a solid location sound recorder list. So for the most part, I mean, what have we talked about? We talked about maybe only about like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
And we've talked about one camera, about 5 or 6 different lights, and then a 1-ton grip package, and that's most of our budget.
And that
right there is pretty much most of our $50,000 budget.
And that's not even factoring in when you get into location costs, which to get, just to give like a frame of reference, the movie I directed last year, Disco, which was shot on a completely the opposite kind of cameras than we shot on Another Cinema Snob Movie. I directed Disco with no crew, just myself, the actors, and we shot it on the same camera I used to shoot the Cinema Snob, which is a mini DV cam, and just a mini DV cam in SD. And it still had that movie. I want to say had like a budget of like $8,000, but 90% of that was paying for the discotheque in Chicago, and that was just a 1-day shoot, or for the disco scenes, it was a 1-day shoot.
Right, exactly. So that's another cost. We've got some more ambitious things we want to do this time, to kind of have fun with some of the genres that we're going to be talking or playing on. So there's some location costs. There's some special effects makeup. Last time we did in the last Cinema Snob movie, we had some incredible effects makeup that was done by Hank Carlson.
Oh yeah,
amazing. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still one of my favorite parts of that movie is how great the effects were.
Oh yeah.
So we want to do that same level of quality, if not even go for some better if possible. So again, those are additional costs. So like where do all these things break down to? Like why are we asking for that amount of money? I mean that just walking through what we've walked through, that's most of our money. And if you're wondering, like again, those people, why does it cost? Well, adding more to those costs of those people to shoot in Springfield, Illinois, which is where we're wanting to shoot, because that's where the Cinema Snob is located. That's where Brad is. That's kind of where our world is.
Yeah.
And not to mention that shooting costs in Springfield are extremely low to nothing. I mean, we can get a lot of locations for free just because we know a lot of people.
Yeah.
We still have to cover travel and then lodging for all of that crew, because we're bringing most of them from Chicago, and then some of them we're bringing in from LA.
Yeah.
So again, that's just as we're continuing to add up these costs and wondering like why are we asking for that much money? Well, that's pretty much why. So what's also interesting is that another thing we haven't really factored in to our costs of what we're asking for is we're also adding a little cost in there for post production. Is that one of the things that there's a few things that we do in post-production that a lot of it I do myself as the editor. Since I am an editor, I can do a lot of the editing myself.
Yeah.
But one of the things we did with Jesus Bro is for color correction, I was able to color correct it. I worked, again, with the DP. We came and we color corrected, but we did it on my system, on my editing system that I have here in my office. But again, we were just shooting in HD. We were only color correcting HD files. This time around, we'll be color correcting 4K files. So 4K files are more or less twice the size of the files of HD files, which means that's too much for my system to handle. So color correction, instead of being able to do it on my own, we're now going to actually have to go to a post-production facility to color correct it. So again, that's just, part of the costs of what we're asking for, though. That's what's added into these costs. Now, a traditional film, like not us, not a little bitty guy like us, but like a traditional film, like a lot of these things I work on, like the Lifetime movies, or even not necessarily Sharknado. Sharknado's a bigger movie, but a lot of these smaller like Lifetime movies, typically the cost of posting them, through post-production, is about $20,000.
Yeah.
So now we're not going to spend that. Because we're not asking for that. I mean, again, most of that 50 is going to go just towards shooting the movie.
Yeah.
so post production costs. I mean, again, I'm going to do most of the work myself, but we are going to have to go to a post production facility to get it color corrected. Again, I can't handle the color correction with the current level of equipment I have. And to upgrade my equipment, it is way more than it would cost to just go in to get somebody else to do it. So like that's part of part of our costs. Also, getting someone to do an appropriate sound mix at the end of the movie. Again, these are post production costs. So last time our sound mixer did it for us, and we paid him, but we didn't pay him what you would pay a full studio to do. So we'll try to get a discount on that, or see if we can get somebody to do it on the cheap.
Right.
But if you don't do that correctly, like this is the other important thing here, is that it's like, just have somebody who is kind of good with audio files do it. It's like, well, that's fine, but again, you at home, when you put on a movie and there's something wrong with the soundtrack, you know it instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is that people think, just chintz out on a sound mix, or chintz out on a good location sound recordist. The thing that I try to impress upon people, especially young filmmakers who are getting started, is that if you want to be a director, you want to be a filmmaker, you want to make movies, oftentimes we're so focused on the visuals that we forget that 50% of what we're creating in a movie is sound. Half of it. Half of what you're making is sound. So if you think, I've got beautiful visuals, great, that's half of the job. The other half is sound.
Oh yeah, I mean,
we don't make silent movies anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, we learned that on the first Cinema Snob movie.
Right.
And even when I did Disco last year, easily, and that was the micro budgeted movies, and even that, the most difficult thing is working on the sound.
Exactly. So we can't afford like a full studio mix. Like we're just not asking for that kind of a budget, but we are asking for money in the budget that we're putting together to hire somebody who can actually give us a good mix for the price. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not going to be like a 5.1, huge action movie mix, but to give us something good, like a good mix like we got on Jesus Bro, it's going to cost us a little bit of money. So again, that's all part of the budget.
Yeah.
Our ask is 50, and we're about halfway there at the time of recording that. We're about halfway there. We still got about half our campaign left.
Yeah.
So that's our push, and we have listed on there a stretch goal of 75. Right, 75, isn't that about where it is? Like 70, 75?
It is 75.
And so to discuss why it is like that's our stretch goal. I mean, I think it's obvious that like, by having that extra money, we can then, we can pay a little bit more for a mix. We can pay a little bit more for color correction. We can pay maybe like if we go over a day. I mean, it happens. The budget right now is for a 10-day shoot.
Yeah.
We might not get 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
We just might. We might, because the budget might do that. But if we're able to get that extra money, if we can get closer to that 75,
yeah,
we can get those extra couple days. We can get other people, and what that money also goes towards is what we've talked about before, is trying to get some name talent to actually be a part of the show as well.
Oh, yeah.
Talk a little bit about that without giving away. I mean, we're not going to name names right now because we really haven't asked anybody yet. So it would not be proper to mention any names of who we're thinking about. But we have some contacts. And we have some people who have shown interest. We have some people who we know have wanted to work with us that are name talent. And then we have also people who know a lot of name talent, casting directors who I've worked with, who I can work with. But the thing is even a name talent, even if somebody like a C-list celebrity who means something to us,
yeah,
who would be a great fit for our movie, who maybe even is a fan of ours, who our fans would recognize and love to see in our movie, they don't necessarily do things for free.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is even if they're like, listen, you don't have to pay me a day rate, I'll just be in your movie, well, there's still costs associated with that.
Yeah.
We still have to probably fly them somewhere. So we got to put them on a plane, we got to fly them somewhere, we got to put them up with lodging, we got to probably get a car, have a driver or somebody.
Yeah.
We have to do makeup, we have to hire a makeup and hair person. And we gotta treat them as best we can for wanting to be a part of our movie, and that's if they do it for free.
Yeah.
The more likely thing, and this is not a dig towards these people. I mean, they gotta work, they gotta eat just like everybody else. They might do it for like a minimum like SAG day rate.
Yeah.
So that, but but that's still a day rate for SAG, so that's still a cost.
Yeah.
So, and you can get them for a good cost. Maybe you have to pay more, you have to pay less. We don't know. Mm-hmm. But having that money handy, having that money available to use means that we're going to have better options for people. Like, again, you get somebody who's even a bigger name. They might do it for cheap, but for cheap for like a big name could still be $10,000.
Yeah.
But that could be a good investment for us.
Mm-hmm.
If we spend $10,000 on a name that's a big name, we then could possibly get this thing distributed.
Oh yeah.
You could see it. You could end up seeing it on something like a Netflix or Amazon or something bigger, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Which is great for you at home because then you have way more options to see it.
Yeah.
And even if you contributed to it and you see it on there, you can make a big deal to your friends and big to other people. Said, "Hey, that's the movie I contributed on. My name's on that movie."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a cool thing. So
mm-hmm.
So anyway, I mean that's. I could get into the little details here of the budget, but these things fluctuate a lot, so it probably we get in the weeds pretty far. Talk about the cost of props, makeup, supplies. For some reason, Brad wants a life-size wax figure of Alan Alda.
Oh, it's really important to the climax of the movie, and we're gonna need that gold Jeep from that episode of MASH.
Fine. Yeah, we're remaking the last episode of MASH because I felt the show didn't end very well. So it was a chicken, okay? It actually was a chicken. That's why.
Now you know everything you need to know about the plot of this movie.
Exactly.
I mean,
I know your fans are really savvy, but are they going to get the chicken in the last episode of MASH?
I guarantee there's like if they've gotten the million of obscure references I've made in the past, that one might be pretty easy for.
Okay, good. I mean, because I was going to say, I know that your fans are really smart, but I was like, that's an obscure one.
I mean, even like, because the IndieGoGo asking price we had for Jesus Bro was $50. It ended up bringing in $55, and we used that. But I mean, even then, we still in post-production and even a little bit during production too. I mean, we were still paying like out of our own pocket to even go over that.
Yeah, and I mean that sort of thing happens, and which is also why we end up selling the movie afterwards.
Yeah.
It's because we're trying to recoup those costs,
mm-hmm.
and we've made a little bit of money on Jesus Bro, but for the most part we were just recouping costs.
Uh-huh.
And like we're not the movie did really really well, and we're really really happy with it. So that's why we sell these things is we want to recoup the costs and try to use the money to do bigger and better things. I mean, with the extra money we made from Jesus Bro, we were able to do some cool things. I don't know if you specifically used that money there, but you were able to make Disco.
Yeah. Oh.
And what's so cool about Disco is that gets kind of back to your roots and kind of doing that kind of fun kind of guerrilla storytelling.
Oh yeah, because I still love doing movies. I still love doing movies like Disco, and yeah, a lot of what. Or not a lot, but a decent amount of what came in from on my end of Jesus Bro. I not only was I able to put some of that towards Disco, but also like the Lloyd animated series as well.
Right, and that's the other thing is that in addressing the concerns of people like, hey, why are you asking for money or why do you charge for these things? I always love. There's a quote by Walt Disney where he said, we don't make movies to make money, we make money to make movies.
Right, and not to mention,
and like that's what I always think on these things is that that's what we're doing. Like we don't have solid gold toilet seats or anything like that. We like making movies. That's why that's why we ask for money, and that's why we sell these things is because we use that money to make movies, and people like them, and we're glad you like them, and we want to keep making stuff you guys like. So.
Oh yeah, I mean we've been doing this longer than we've been doing the Cinema Snob. We've been making movies far longer than we've been doing the internet series, and also what I come down to too is like we have thousands of videos and several different shows that are free. So it's like, yeah, we can have a handful of projects that we charge on.
Sure, exactly.
And we were talking about this too, how like in doing a sequel to the Cinema Snob movie, there is a part of that is like, let's see what we can do with this movie with Reese and with this character, with resources that we didn't have on the first movie. Because I do really I like the first movie. When I watched it again to do the Snob episode on it, there was a lot of jokes I forgot about because I hadn't seen it in a while, and I was laughing quite a bit during the movie. And I was also like, man, if only we did this like 5 or 6 years later.
Right. right, exactly. Yeah, had we spent a little bit more money and gotten some more better equipment and some other people, we could have made a much better movie. And I agree. I mean, I look at that movie too, and for as fun as it is, just as a filmmaker, as any filmmaker, and you know this too.
Yeah.
You watch your own movies, and the only thing you see are your flaws.
Yeah.
And all you think of is, I could have done that so much better. And but we had our constraints, and we wanted to finish the movie. But I watched it, I'm like, damn, if only we would have done that. If only we would have done this. And so that's why, as we approach, wanting to make another Cinema Snob movie, having those resources in the war chest, having this budget, we're going to be able to make a much better movie that's going to look really nice, and it's going to be to the level of quality that you've come to expect from us.
Yeah.
We did a really nice job with Jesus Bro. I really love that movie.
I do too.
I don't know if it's the favorite one we've made. I mean, I really do like the Cinema Snob. It might be my favorite just because it's my most recent. I don't know, and I think it also turned out the nicest. But I love what we were able to do with that movie because we had the money to make the things work.
Yeah.
We had a handful of visual effects that we were actually able to do because we had the money. The quality of the shoot, the quality of how it sounded, the music. We were able to pay Skitchmore, our composer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he was able to compose a lot more music for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that music really makes it. I mean, that final sequence, with the music in there, the wedding sequence, it's just that the music is what makes it.
Oh, even in the first Cinema Snob movie, where in the last act, I mean, not only has the movie kind of turned into this giallo mystery as it went along, but it's also turning into that Black Angus movie that the two characters were trying to make at the beginning of it. So then the soundtrack sort of becomes kind of like a blaxploitation movie soundtrack. And in the sequel, there's similar things in the sequel where it's these two characters that they start out at like kind of a low point in their career, and they're on this journey to try to sort of get this comeback in a way. And like the first movie, not exactly like the first movie, because the sequel is not just doing the first movie again. It is very different from the first film, but in the fact that it is still a Cinema Snob movie, it does have parts where it sort of just becomes this exploitation movie in different parts of it. And there's a lot of areas there where, music could definitely play a big part in that, whether it's, a sequence that's like something like Tourist Trap, or this plot line with like the cannibal family in it that's like a Motel Hell Chainsaw Massacre kind of thing.
Right.
There's a lot of different genres to play with music, and like what you were saying earlier with the cinematography as well.
Right, exactly. That's these are all things we want to play with, and so it's gonna be a really fun project. I mean, I think that's the other thing to just remind everybody with is that we had a lot of fun with the first Cinema Snob movie, and our the response we've gotten from that movie, over the years. I mean, people still really like it. Like even looking at like the quality of it compared to what we were able to do recently, like people still really like that movie.
Yeah.
Because we had so much fun making it, it translates to people just really having fun watching it. I feel that's the same way of all our movies, going back to like Cheap and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a pretty good time making those movies. So
we did.
We were going. It comes across on screen that we had fun doing it. I mean, I totally feel that way about Paranoia. Totally feel that way about the Cinema Snob movie. I absolutely we had a hell of a blast doing Jesus Bro. We had the best time doing that film.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of fun doing these, and it comes across, and that's the response we get is people have a lot of fun watching them. So in this one, instead of kind of conform our ideals into the religious feel of a movie, we get back to our roots of having fun with exploitation films.
Yeah.
Another Cinema Snob movie. And I think I think it's going to be great. I really think it's going to be a fun movie.
No, I do too. And we'll be doing a lot more advertising because we're halfway through the campaign right now, so we'll be doing plenty more live streams on it. Obviously, this video will be going up here soon, and you'll be able to. And there's the Cinema Snob episodes on the Cinema Snob movie. As of recording this, part 1 is public, and part 2 will be on is over on our IndieGoGo page. So if you want to donate to that, just click on the link in the description. That'll take you right over to our IndieGoGo page. It is an all or nothing campaign, so it's not flexible. So if it doesn't make the 50, then we can't make it. But we also have a lot of great perks on there as well. Ones that weren't necessarily on our Jesus Bro ones, like we have a lot of digital downloads. We were talking about Disco earlier. That one's on there. Jesus Bro is there's a pre-order for a future Cinema Snob DVD that'll be coming out before too long, and each perk. It
is true. If I could jump in here, you're really good about this. In that, like, if for some of these perks, for not a lot invested, you can walk away with kind of the whole library of things we have available.
Yeah.
Because I think I might have cut you off right before you were going to say that every perk you get all the perks underneath.
Yeah.
So, we have a $10, $15, a $20. So, you pay $25, you get Jesus Bro and the Cinema Snob movie too. So the new movie, you get digital downloads of both of those, but you also get a digital download of the Cinema Snob, the original Cinema Snob movie, and Disco. You get our on-set Snapchat, and you get a special thanks to the DVD credit. So you can, you get all the way up to a $50 for a $50 contribution.
Yeah.
You're going to get behind-the-scenes content from us while we shoot.
Mm-hmm.
You get a DVD of the new movie, Another Cinema Snob Movie. Mm-hmm. You get the new Cinema Snob Punches Nazis. Yeah. That's going to be the new exclusive DVD that Brad's going to be releasing.
Uh-huh.
You get the digital downloads of Jesus Bro, the Cinema Snob Movie too. So you'll have the DVD of the movie plus a digital download.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get the original Cinema Snob movie digitally and Disco, on-set Snapchat, and special thanks DVD credit. So, if you think about, the savings, we're Go Home Shopping Network on this,
mm-hmm.
Usually our movie or our DVDs are about $20. That's about the amount of money that, we sell them for. So that's the new Cinema Snob Punches Nazi. That's $20.
Yeah.
You can get a digital download of Jesus Bro for about, I think maybe 15, maybe it's still $20. So right there, let's just say $20. That's $40.
Mm-hmm.
The Cinema Snob 2, a digital download, that's going to be another $20. So that's $60.
Mm-hmm.
The original Cinema Snob movie, I think you can download for $10. Disco, I think it's maybe $10, $15. So we're already over $60, $70 there. On Snapchat and special DVD thanks for credit there. So you're paying $50, you're getting $60, $70 worth of value there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're getting a ton of content for $50. You're getting a huge selection of our library. Mm-hmm. And more importantly than that, you're helping us make this new movie.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's and just why not, since I'm doing this, $75 you get in addition to everything else I just said, you also get the uncut DVDs. That's 2 more DVDs that you get to add on top of there.
Mm-hmm.
For $100 on top of all the other stuff, you also get our shooting script, which I always find fun things to see are the actual shooting scripts of movies.
Yeah.
Because, it was something we did in film school was we went through, all these different versions of scripts for movies that came out, and then, we watched the movie and then compared the script to what actually, made it up on screen.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing. So that's the $100 investment.
Yeah.
For $250 on top of all the other stuff you get, your name in the credits as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. So you get a specific section of the credits is named there. For $500, you get your name in the credits as well because you are an associate producer, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then our $1,000 one, and we've had a few people claim this, which is cool. Is you'll get a specific mention in the movie.
Yeah, there is a spot in the movie where that can easily be put in there, where your name actually gets mentioned in the dialogue of the movie.
So yeah, there's some really awesome perks there to walk away with a lot of our content.
Mm-hmm.
And really importantly, to help support this movie. This movie is completely fan funded, which is another thing, which is kind of cool. Is that we have no corporate sponsors. We don't work with any studios or anybody like that who has to dictate or tell us what we want to do. We work for you guys. We work for the fans.
Yeah.
So you give us the money, you tell us what we want to do and how we do it, and we love it. We love making you guys happy. We love that you love our content, and we hope we can do it again. Yeah,
the better this movie does, the more projects like this we can keep doing in the future as well, and including the smaller projects too, like the discos and things like that.
Yes, exactly. So I guess I know you were trying to wrap up before I started my QVC pitch.
Oh no, dude, that's totally fine. You put all that brilliantly.
But I did want to tell everybody that I'm going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con this Friday, the 20th. So I don't have like a booth or a panel or anything. Although I might try to sneak onto the Marvel panel, see if anybody notices.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm Paul Rudd. But no, I'm going down there because Sharknado 6 has a panel. I'm not on the panel, but I'm going down to see it. So
cool.
I'll be down there at San Diego Comic-Con. I'll try to live tweet, and I'll record a video for the site as well. I'm down there too. So if anybody follows me on Twitter, and if you're going to be down there, let me know. Maybe we could meet up. We can try to sneak into some parties.
What's your Twitter handle?
What is my Twitter handle?
It's WalkawayENT, I believe.
Yeah, at WalkawayENT is who I am. So, yeah, at WalkawayENT. Look me up on Twitter. Send me a message if you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe we'll do a video together and get it up on the site.
And follow me on Twitter at the Cinema Snob. And again, click on our IndieGoGo link. That'll tell you even more information. That's in the description for this video. And we'll be having more stuff coming soon. So thanks a bunch, everyone, for listening.
Yes, thank you so much.